Hello, everybody. Sarah Revels again with Karen Lacharity
Hello.
from NHC-CBT, doing our second video in our welcome videos for our clinicians series. And I'm really excited to bring Karen to you today.
Thank you.
I think you're gonna love Karen as much as I do. And so Karen, again, I'm so excited that you're coming to
I'm
work
so
here.
excited.
Karen's only coming part-time, so maybe, I gotta calm down a little.
I know.
But
I know. It's so exciting though.
so you're coming part-time, and you are a licensed clinical mental health counselor
Yes.
and also a Springfield College graduate.
That's right.
Yay! So am I. I'm also a professor there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so we got
nice.
the Springfield College connection.
Definitely.
So Karen, tell us about who you love to work with. Like, what ages do you love to work with, and what kind of problems and things do you like to help people with?
Okay, sure. So I love working with kids. I love working with. I have a lot of young kids that I work with. I'd say starting at like 6 is probably my lower end ages.
Mhm.
I've got a lot of second graders that I absolutely love working with. Um, So elementary school, middle schoolers, high schoolers are my favorite. I love working with teenagers, the oppositional, defiant teenagers, rebellious. I love it. I love it. I really do.
This is, you see why I hired
See,
her.
people say you're crazy. What are you doing? But no, I love working with kids and teenagers. Um, I really use a strength-based model quite a bit because I like to empower kids and empower them to, find their voice and be able to express themselves and learn how to effectively express themselves.
Right.
Because people want to be heard. People want to be heard and witnessed and validated, and helping kids learn how to use their voice in an effective way so
Right.
that people can hear them
Yeah.
and they can express their needs to be able to get their needs met.
I think that's a big thing for kids. Like, I feel like I even remember being a kid and thinking, nobody listens to me, nobody listens to kids. Like, adults don't care what kids are saying. And so to just create that space, like that safe space where kids can come in and teens can come in and be like, okay, Karen hears me and wants to help me be heard. Like, wants my parents or my parole officer, because we should also mention that you do court-ordered treatments, right?
Yeah.
And wants to help everybody hear me.
Right.
Okay. And you also have some really cool certifications and trainings that you do.
I do.
One of them I think is really, people are going to be super interested in, and Karen had kind of told me about it, is the match program. Yeah. So can you tell us about that?
Sure. So I just recently got trained in match, and I'm really excited about it. It's an evidence-based treatment, and it's a modular approach. So match stands for modular approach for therapy with children.
Okay.
And ADTC is the add-on to it, which stands for.
It's a lot. It's a big acronym.
It is. Which stands for anxiety, depression, trauma, and conduct. Oh. So it's really geared to work with those 4 diagnoses, issues, problems.
Which anxiety, trauma, depression all can lead to a lot of conduct disorders.
Absolutely.
So like that's the whole thing. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's a modular approach, and it's oh my God, I am loving it. I just started working. I got out of training about 2 weeks ago, hit the deck running, started working with families with this, and we're kind of new in the process, but I think it's going to be a very successful modality to work with, and I can see that there's going to really be some good results. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to start doing it. It's very structured and disciplined. Yes. I think the families like it because of that structure. It brings in the parents, where a lot of times we see that parents aren't quite as involved as we would like them to be.
Yeah.
This really helps us bring the parents into the process, and it gives them
so important
homework, so to speak, to work on throughout the week for the parent and the kids to work together on. So it's
coming for you.
It's a great model. I think it's going to be good.
Kids are like, yay! My counselor to get my parent homework. But it's true, right? It's true, because if we take a kid or a teen and we say, change, but nothing else changes, like nothing at home changes, and or even if the family tries to change, but we cut the family out,
Mm-hmm.
and the family's not aware of all the good work we're trying to do, how can they be supportive?
Mm-hmm.
And how can that kid be successful? So Karen is really, I think, aware of that. And like you were just talking about how the match program integrates the family, but also before we were recording, you were talking to me about just the importance of parenting work.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, definitely. Because, you know, when you think about it, whether you're working with a 6-year-old or 10-year-old, 12, any age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kids are part of a system, right? They're part of that family system.
Right.
And kids don't just walk into this world with issues, right? It's all part of the whole
Or
family system.
strengths. Or strengths.
Right. So we work together to kind of to work on those issues, problems, conflicts that they're having,
Right.
to create some changes.
Right. So we want to become part of your family's team, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're big at NHC-CBT on things like education, inclusion, and you know, I don't know if the word integrated healthcare is right, because there are certain programs that are literally called that and they have a certain approach. But we believe in becoming part of the team, and parents are a huge part of the team. So I love, Karen, that you're talking about that. And I know I'm just looking at my Karen notes here. Also some notes that I have from when we were talking about just everything you do, because Karen is so experienced, I had to like write a bunch of notes about it. I have trauma focused CBT, and I also have dialectical behavioral therapy. So what do you think about that?
Well, I've had some training on both of those modalities.
Yeah.
The TF-CBT, it's a great model. So many people have trauma. There is so much trauma in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and if we can kind of work with kids, and again, using an evidence-based treatment, and start addressing some of the trauma that's affecting them in so many, because, you know, and this is what I work with kids, is trauma lives in the body, and we've got to find a way to express it and move through it to create a new relationship with the trauma.
And this is reminding me, I wanted to ask you, do you think that the trauma focused CBT, the TF-CBT, do you feel like it's a good match, not match, but do you feel like it's a good match for the trauma sensitive yoga?
I think they'll complement each other.
Yeah.
Because throughout the work with TF-CBT, we're working with doing mindfulness and helping them calm their body, so that trauma sensitive yoga will complement it very well.
Oh, so look at Lisa Bolden's profile and look at our groups page for the TCTSY trauma sensitive yoga. And we also have yoga for peaceful embodiment, which is great for anyone with anxiety, depression, OCD, eating disorders, all that kind of stuff. So we've got a lot of those complementary services just to get at the same issue from a couple angles. And then you take the client and you tie it together for them and help them put it in a framework that works. Okay. And the other thing I really wanted just to make sure that we talk about today is the LGBTQIA community.
Yeah.
And I know that is a community that you have a lot of interest in serving and experience serving. So I feel like that's important.
That's definitely important. So I have a good handful of clients that I work with now that identify as transgender or gay or lesbian, and again, kids, people in general, we're looking for connection, we're looking for support, we're looking for validation, and being able to be sensitive to those issues and understand them and provide resources is so important. And you know, I've had a good amount of kids come through that identify as transgender, and what's really funny is the kids are great with it. They're fine. They understand themselves. They know who they are. It's not an issue. It's the parents. The parents don't understand it. They don't get it. There's a lot of grief for the parents. Like I've been calling my daughter she, and she's been my daughter for 17 years, and now all of a sudden she wants me to call him him.
Right.
And there's a grief, like there's a letting go and a loss of that daughter in this example.
Yes.
And so a lot of the work is helping the parents understand and support their kids.
Because we build up these constructs We have to, as part of what we do as human beings,
Mhm.
right? We build these constructs, these ways that we understand the world, the ways we understand our role in the world, other people's roles, how to interact, and so it helps us just move through the day and make the most of life. So
Right.
it's really hard when it's part of an essential way that we view the world has just been changed.
Right.
And the person who's sharing that, the person who's maybe coming out,
Mhm.
they've known this probably for a long time.
Right.
It's not, it's difficult. It can be difficult,
Mhm.
I think, to come out. It's a risk sometimes, but at the same time, the people that they're coming out to may have had some idea,
Mhm.
or they may not, and so they
Right.
haven't had the same time to reflect and prepare.
And society's changing. The world
Yeah.
is changing, and you know, back in my day,
Oh,
there,
when was that?
there wasn't a choice.
Today is your day, Karen.
You know, like there wasn't a choice. You know, you were the gender you were born with, and you dealt
Right.
with, and you accepted it, and
Yeah.
you know, and so kids are there's an openness and there's an awareness,
Yes.
and kids are able to express themselves, and a lot of times the questioning, whether it's sexuality or gender,
Right.
it's developmental.
Yes.
And that's what so many people don't understand. It is so developmental. They're figuring out who, and this is what it's supposed to be.
I know.
Kids are figuring out
This is
who they are
teenage
and who
stuff.
they are in the world. So just to be able to have somebody that understands it, that gets it,
Right.
supports them, and can provide some education
Right.
as well, it's amazing. It's
Right.
great stuff.
And I talk about this in my human sexuality classes that
Yeah.
I teach, where students will say, "Oh, you know, all my nieces and nephews, suddenly everybody's gay,"
Mhm.
right? They say something like that, and they say, "I think they're just, you know, copying or this or that." And I
Mhm.
say, and what I'll generally say is, you know, a lot of what you said, Karen, where exploring and learning who you are through those ages is developmentally appropriate.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, it's not that more people are fluid or queer or gay or
Mhm.
whatever. I think it's that we are more open as a society, the younger generation, and so we're more open to seeing ourselves on a spectrum.
Mhm.
And so as we're exploring, we're also open to exploring that as well.
Right.
And I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Why not explore that earlier on about yourself? So
Absolutely. And again, it's, you know, a lot of people these days, young people are identifying as bisexual.
Right.
And that is so wonderful. They're just saying, I am me, and I'm
Right.
able to love whoever it is that I love, regardless of gender,
Right.
regardless of sexual. So it really is an opening, and it's a beautiful thing.
So we're gonna wrap the video up in a minute, but I will say you've sort of walked into my trap for you here, because
no.
one of the things that I want you to do, and now that you just said all this, I feel like I can't say no. One of the things that I would love for you to do, when we can find the time and the space for it to do with intention, is a group for parents, kind of like a PFLAG group, a group for parents to talk about just the challenge of parenting in today's modern age as related to the evolving fluid nature of gender and sexuality.
Oh my God, I would love to do that. Because again, the kids are fine with their gender and their sexuality. The kids are great.
Yeah, I'll do that group for free.
It's not the kids that have a problem with their identity.
Yeah.
It's their parents that don't get it. I would love to do that.
Okay. So what you heard it here. It's on tape.
Yep.
Look out for it on our website on nhccbt.com. This has been Karen Lacharity, coming soon, starting in September.
Yep.
Got couple after school slots left, but you want to hurry for those, and a couple morning slots, like early morning too. I don't know what time you wake up.
So this is the great thing. No, this is the awesome thing. So even from my own experience, like I think everybody should be in therapy. It's an empowering thing. We all need that person, right?
Yeah.
So going back over my life and times when I've been in therapy, right?
Yeah.
Mornings were always like really helpful. The parents work, kids are in school.
Yeah.
Those early morning slots are sometimes prime time for people to be able to get in, you know, before the hecticness of the day starts and the
start your day right.
Start it in, come into therapy.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got a great thing going.
Yeah.
And I think it's great.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. There was so much to say in this great video, and we know that you'll love Karen as much as we do, and we will look forward to seeing you. So call us 603-659-0202 or email info@nhccbt.com, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.